Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Sewing and Growing. My name is Rebecca and I love to sew. So I know you guys are probably wondering, why does she always say that? It's one, because it's true. I do love to sew. But when I say I love to sew, I'm talking about three different things. I'm talking about sewing and making garments on my sewing machine. I love to upcycle and design and create unique garments and provide you with inspiration for your own wardrobe and also with some practical sewing techniques. I love to sow into the ground seeds. I love to vegetable garden. I kind of think of my channel kind of like, like those Saturday morning shows that used to come on public television that had sewing shows and gardening shows. I like to kind of try to combine those two things together. I was an avid fan of those shows on Saturday morning, and so that's what I kind of want to recreate here. That's the vibe I'm going for. So, if that's something that you're interested in, please tell all your friends. I am new to the YouTube community. I hope you'll come back and be inspired to garden with me. Be inspired to do different DIYs to elevate your wardrobe. And also, I love to sow seeds of hope and faith and love and encouragement in the garden of your heart. That's what I'm all about here on this channel. So when I say I love to sew, now you know. I'm talking about three different ways of doing that. So welcome back. Let's see. A couple of weeks ago, I did a thrift haul video featuring some dynamic quilts that I found in my local thrift shop that I want to use to make quilted garments. It's kind of an obsession I have right now, and I'm running out of time because the weather's about to flip on me. However, I did manage to make a gorgeous jacket for spring out of two different sets of those pillowcases that were featured in that video. So I hope you guys check that video out. I'm gonna make more things from that thrift haul, but I can't wait to show you the finished product of this jacket that I made. It's so cute. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the tutorial aspect so you can see how, some of the highlights anyway, of how it was created. And then I'll come back and show you the actual jacket. But first, one more thing real quick. I just want to say, now the jacket is really the bomb, but I am wearing just something really simple underneath. Something that's like every day, any day, every day. You can go out in, be comfortable, have a little something to eat. Don't worry about, too much expansion. Just loose, just breezy, just a regular old white sneaks. This is just another shirt I purchased from the thrift store, from the men's department. I ripped the collar off and just added a binding. And then I took these little like mom jeans with a little stretch in the waist. And I wanted them to be a little bit longer. So if you notice the bottom, you'll see a couple of buttons, and all that is, it's the cuff off of a denim shirt. I actually took it off of a denim shirt and put it on the bottom of these pants. And I think it came out really cute. It gave a little extra something, hey. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Thanks for watching.
I have been dreaming about making quilted garments for quite a while now, and the time has finally come to get started. We're going to jump right in by cutting out the existing lining from the pillowcases. This white pillowcase has a cotton lining on the inside that I'm going to cut out for now but reuse later on in the project. I'm cutting really close to the seam line there without cutting through the stitches to ensure the integrity of the binding that's sewn along the outer edge of this pillowcase. I'm going to use that piece later. The inside of this white pillowcase is very nice. It's a really nice fabric that does not need to be relined, and I did not reline this particular piece. I used it to make the back of the jacket and also for the sleeves. The piece that already has this gorgeous patchwork on the front actually has two linings on the inside. There is a cotton lining and also a polyester one. And this piece, of course, is going to be used for the front of the jacket. Now, this piece does need to be lined because the batting is actually exposed after you cut the lining out. So I did go back in and add a lining after I got the jacket piece, front piece cut out. It's cold out today. Is anybody wrapped up in a nice warm quilt? Just think, that quilt that you're lying there all snuggled up cozy to just could be your next fabulous coat or jacket. You never know. Okay, I did actually use some denim scraps that I had from a previous upcycle, a pair of denim pants and a denim shirt. The pants were used to embellish the sleeves and the back of the jacket, and the shirt I used for um, a little pop of interest on the front of the pocket. If you saw my other video, you'll remember that I actually mentioned that pillowcase looked like a pocket, and it manifested itself, as you can see. If anyone noticed that book that flashed on and off of the screen a moment ago, it's called The Book of Borrow, and it actually is about traditional Japanese textiles, and it's a really good book. I did use it to, well, for my inspiration for how I did my cutting layout initially for this jacket. It has some really good information in it that gives you some guidelines as to how to make kimonos, traditional Japanese style kimonos without a pattern. I will put a link for that in the description box. So yeah, are you guys enjoying these tutorials? I certainly hope that you are. There are more really fantastic things to come. I'm just getting started. As I mentioned before, I am new to the YouTube community, and I would like to spread the word about my channel. One way that that happens is when people look at my videos. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would spread the word for me. When people watch, then YouTube recommends my videos to other viewers who have common interests, and that's how the one way that my channel will grow. So we're just finishing up here, cutting out these pieces for the sleeve embellishment. I think we're looking pretty good, moving right along, finishing up cutting out the opposite side of the front of the jacket with my handy dandy rotary cutter that I absolutely love. If you like to sew and you don't have a rotary cutter, what are you waiting on, boo? Go get a rotary cutter. It is fantastic. I may try to find one on Amazon if they have it, and I'll put a link in the description box for it. Most brands work really well. See how nice and crisp and straight that line is? Oh my God, I'm all about precision. That looks great. I think it's time to go ahead and go to the sewing machine and sew this other pocket on. Looking good. I love the sound of my sewing machine. I love to hear the machine making the needle go up and down. I love the sound of scissors snipping threads. I love top stitching and the look of straight stitches. I'm a total sewing geek. Your girl got it pretty bad, y'all. Okay, so I just wanted to show here how I am flatlining this jacket. This pillowcase had a double lining. No, it had a single lining in it. It had this lining, and then this lining was in the white
pillowcase. The white one had a double lining. Oh, I've already cut it out. Oops. Okay, but yeah, this part needs to be lined for sure. So I did a double lining at the top here by using the white cotton in case the lapel is ever turned out, so it'll be a nice weight on that portion of it. And see what I did here is all I did is I created a stitch going all the way down to sew that back on, because remember I cut it off and now I'm turning it back. This is called flatlining, when you put the lining on, lay it flat on the pattern piece before you stitch the pattern pieces together. A regular lining is when you completely make the garment out of your outer fabric and then you remake it again out of your lining, and you sandwich the two pieces together. They fit differently. I'm not using a pattern or anything for this. I'm kind of like just designing on the fly, and so this is just what I decided to use, probably because it's quick, not really for any other particular reason. So yeah, just because I'm kind of figuring out the design as I go along, and I don't know exactly how everything's going to turn out, and I don't have a pattern piece to make my lining. I don't know. And once you sew your pieces together, you know, it would be difficult to create a lining piece that's adequately in shape and size. So flat lining is the best option for me here. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to stitch in the ditch right here on the front. You won't even see this. And so that's going to give me a stitch right about here. So again, when the lapel is turned down, it's not going to be, you know, turned out way like here, because right here is where that stitch is going to be. So it'll be hidden by me stitching in the ditch. After I stitch in the ditch, I'm going to go and I'm going to serge this edge together, get this nice and flat, and then I'm going to trim this out a little bit first, and then I'm going to turn it, or maybe not, maybe I'll just turn it, and then I think I'm going to put a white gosh, bias. Yeah, it's late. I just had dinner and I really want to lay down and watch TV when I want to get this jacket done, so excuse me, my mind is all over the place. I want to put a white bias tape on this edge to make that nice enough finish. This is going to be probably cut short and then fold it up, and so all that lining is going to be sandwiched in there real nice. But I just wanted to show that I flatlined.
Okay, family, we are almost ready for the big reveal. I can't wait to show you all of the details on this jacket. Right now, I am sewing some binding along the neckline, utilizing some of that leftover lining that I initially cut out of the pillowcase. It's turning out really nice. The sleeve detail has already been completed and added onto the jacket. And there is a lot of interesting detail on the back of the jacket as well. Can't wait to show you that. Next, I'm going to be working on making some loops out of clothesline for my button closures. So that'll be interesting to see. My husband actually gave me the idea for this, and I have to admit, he tries to be Tim Gunn in my life. He comes in the room while I'm working through my designs and makes suggestions that are typically very good, which is kind of funny because he's all about nerd chic. So here we are. As you can see, this is just some clothesline that I purchased at Walmart. and I am just simply knotting it up and making sure all of my pieces are nice and even. Excuse me, even. And I'm going to be attaching that to the front of the jacket to use to close it up. And you'll see all the details close up at the end. I'll show you that. And pardon me, I just had to stop and put some lotion on my hands because yeah, they're pretty ashy. I am so excited to be almost finished with this jacket, and I can't wait to wear it either. I'm already thinking about my next project and what that's going to be. I think I'm going to attempt to make a quilted dress, something semi dramatic. You know what I mean? Just enough drama, but can still be worn every day. I know my wardrobe is definitely in need of a makeover. And this jacket is just one of many things to come.
The brooch, you guys, belonged to my grandmother who taught me how to sew. So I'm wearing it in honor of her because without her, I wouldn't have this skill. Thanks, Gail. I miss you and I love you.